Hey, it's JT from HoagiesGarage.com. Giving an update here. This update's sketchy because it's all over the place. This has been over the past few weeks. Just been chipping away at little things as I get time. Some days it's 5 minutes, some days it's an hour. It's just been crazy the past few weeks. But I'm feeling confident about the project. We're moving right along here. Getting there though. Definitely ironing out some little details, little things like that. Got the water pump off. You'll see here kind of what I've been up to though over the past couple weeks. So it's gonna be a mishmash of random clips and things, but I think you'll get the idea. So thanks for watching, and just excuse the jumping around of this. Got a few strictly product review videos I'm editing right now too, so those will be coming up real soon here. Some stuff with wireless charging, some more Meguiar stuff, which is really neat. I think you're going to like it. So thanks for watching. Enjoy. So one of the issues with the Impala is the washer pump. As much as this isn't a big issue, it's an annoying issue, but I wanted to show you this here. I have a new one right here. If you're interested in part numbers, here you go. Okay. Actually, I think it fits like every GM car known to man. But it's right there. And what's funny is this thing is completely full of washer fluid. So if I go fast, you can transfer it without major leakage. Easier said than done. But what's interesting too is there's a new gasket in here, which I don't know. I'll put the pump in and we'll see what happens first. If this one leaks or something, then we'll go from there. Here goes. So the old pump is out. If you notice there, I didn't fully expect the extra little tube to be a problem because it came out of both spots. It's like a return line almost, but I don't know. This just doesn't work. My dad told me he never uses it, so that could be why it doesn't work, but 1996 original. Probably needed changed anyways at some point here. So good to go on that. Next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to mess a little bit with this air pump. I'm having trouble like deciding, I guess, what to take off before the engine pull. Like I'm looking at it going, do I take out all the accessory items and bolt them on the new motor? Do I just mess with it when it's out? So kind of going, I don't know, very meticulous with this whole thing. Oh, almost overkill, like nervous type thing, because I don't want to forget where a bolt goes. Like you take it off and you're like, oh, my fault, I forgot where that goes, and then I have to really search the archives of all my videos and pictures and things like that. So I'm gonna mess with the air pump here. I'll show you what that looks like if I can get it off here before it's too late. Everybody's asleep and I'm putting in some late hours here tonight, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so right below the coil there, as you can see, that was where the air pump was. I have it off. This isn't the kind of car where you're going to do this necessarily for weight saving, or it's not going to pick up any extra horsepower doing this. If anything, there's what I can think of two reasons why I did it. This first one is for a while there in the check valves fixed it. There are a lot of check valves that stop moisture from going into this, and if there's moisture that ends up in your air pump, you get some check engine lights, you got issues. I even have, there's a retrofit kit or something I'm going to show here. I got to look it up in the box. Brand new from GM. It's like a service kit type thing that somehow does something to bypass, or I don't know. I have it, all the info, and I'm not even going to use it because it's not going on the new engine. And you know, really the other reason would be just for cosmetic sake. I mean, you're not really gaining much by taking this off. So, and the new headers don't allow for it. You know, the new engine's not going to have it clearly. It's all written out of the PCM. It's not like I'm just taking it off and moving on. So it's been planned to have this off. But right down here, I do have a box of all the air components I'm taking off. The, you know, the hoses, the everything, just because I do get nervous that we do have an emissions check here, and if they ever get crazy, like in the next year or so, which they probably won't, this car is going to be exempt soon, you never know. So, air pumps off. Moving on to the next thing, which I think it might be the bracket. We'll see though. So last night I did the, what did I do? Windshield washer fluid pump, the air pump, lots of pumps came off, and then I also took off the coil, which I have an MSD unit to replace that. What's interesting though is I have the wrong MSD unit, and I have to take it back to Summit and get the right one. I'm hoping they don't give me too much trouble because I did, my dad bought it back in like 2009, but they're pretty cool about stuff, so all I need to do is switch it, so more to come on that. But I do have the receipt, everything, so it should be interesting to see how they do it. Now, I wanted to show, I'm going to kind of get in this here. I had these depot lights here, and I had a mild problem with them. Here, I'll show you real quick. Alright, so it's tough to tell, sitting here on top of the headlight. These are the three bulbs. This is the one in the middle is stock. The one on the left is the one that came with the depot, and then this is the new one. Basically, this one was too big. You can't use clear because it is smoked, and I had to go to AutoZone and buy the right one. Now, I could have, I guess, complained to Depot, but I don't know. It's $5 basically. I don't know if it was worth the email transactions back and forth. The other thing which I have going here, passenger side, I'm missing the little, as I showed, I was asking online for this. I think it'll work. I have basically this guy, that little thing that accepts the screw. I was missing one on the driver's side, so let's see here. If I found one, my dad found one in his pile of stuff, so I'm going to see if this will work here. I'm just sick of looking at these little bulbs and pieces everywhere for these parking side marker things, so we'll see here. Okay, so here's the new depot for the passenger side. You need to transfer on these. The little white thing, you see that there? That's what accepts the screw. Basically, you catch it with this little flip tab, and then the screw. That's pretty much it. That's all that sort of holds it there. My passenger side was missing that. It was like broken or gone. I did find this interesting though. This is where I found the part. My dad passed me off a new one of these in the box, but I've never seen this before. Maybe you know why this is like this, or it's just a defect. The big hole where the light goes wasn't punched out. So either way though, it's missing the plastic thing. I need it for the new black one. Should be able to install it here. Finally finish this little BS end of the car here. As you can see, they both installed. This side's tough to see here. Going for that slick black look up front. I think it kind of does it. Now I can take all these extra bulbs, put them in my little bulb drawer, which is just something that builds and builds, and I don't know if I've ever actually went to it to use it, but I got a bulb drawer. So I mentioned earlier I took the coil off, wanted to take a minute and show this to you. This is the stock 1996 coil. It's got that sort of connector on there. These are the
bolts that go to it to hold it down. One of these has a bunch of grounds that goes to it. This guy is actually bolted on over here, yeah, like so, and sorry, right there. And there's that stuff that you almost use on a computer, thermoelectric grease, basically because this guy, actually this whole setup gets real hot. This is another sensor here, oh gosh, I forget what it's called, but as much as I like changing all this stuff out, I like, you know, I have a new idle air, I have a new intake air, I have EGR but I'm not using it. It's nice to change this stuff out. I have GM ones, I don't have the crap Chinese ones that are gonna, you know, fail, not work. I don't have this one, and I'm almost not gonna mess with it because it's working, I guess, if that makes sense. I guess it's one less thing I'll worry about if the engine doesn't turn over or something. But if you think that's a bad idea, I guess let me know. If you think, you know, those fail or something, it's got 180,000 miles on it. So I don't know. But, yeah. So next thing I'm going to do here, and just because it's sitting on the floor, and it's been sitting on the floor, I want to bolt the water pump onto the new engine. And I bought gaskets today, which they're just these little Felpro jobbies. And I got some sealants, and just going to bolt it up there. Basically, all I really need off the old engine is the bolts. So I'm going to mess with that here and show you what's up. So I'm jumping all over with this post, this update. So sorry, I changed what I'm wearing. It's a different time of day. I wanted to show factory coil. I had the wrong one, believe it or not. Back in 2009, my dad went to Summit, got the coil, the MSD from Summit. They gave him the wrong one, the 94 to 95 connection. From what I've read, I needed the 96 connection, which was this like 3-prong looking one. But either way, they weren't too thrilled with a 6-7-year-old return. But it was brand new still. They didn't like it. But anyways, they eventually caved. They were nice about it. I had to pay a little restocking fee. But so new MSD coil with the proper connector. And right now what I'm doing is I am drilling out the factory setup here. It's just amazing though. Like, I'm just making such a mess with this project. And on top of it, my garage is just filled to the brim with everything from parts to junk to everything. So I'm going to build this guy right now. I'll show you what it looks like here in a second. So other than the sensor, bolting that back on with the 2 little screws, these are the bolts that hold the whole setup to the cylinder head. That's the MSD in there. Basically, like I showed you, drilled out the rivets, and they give you bolts and nuts to put it back on there. There's the 3-pin connector, and I also need to get some of this thermoelectric grease to put it on there, but got it kind of cleaned off a little bit so you have a cleaner mounting surface. But that is all. MSD is on. I just got to put this couple little parts back on. You know, I think overall it's just, I don't want to say good practice, but this guy right here, I mean, this has done more than enough of its job. I'm sure a factory coil is going to provide enough voltage to the MSD unit on the MSD Opti, but you know, just had this, so figured why not. MSD coil, port number 8231, that was the correct one. Next move here is I got the water pump off, drained all that mess out of the engine over there. I got to get the water pump onto the new engine, so that'll probably be my next little thing here coming up soon.